How did air supply win the Burma Campaign? Imagine a jungle battlefield where roads are blocked by mud and mountains tower over every movement. Now picture tiny aircraft flying through storms and enemy fire to keep soldiers alive. That's how air supply played a huge role in winning the Burma Campaign during World War II. The dense jungles, steep mountains, and monsoon rains made overland supply lines nearly impossible. The Allies had to rely on aircraft to bring in food, ammunition, and reinforcements. Without this air support, the ground troops couldn't hold their positions or push forward. The turning point came during the battles of Imphal and Kohima in 1944. The Japanese surrounded these key towns, cutting off supplies and threatening to crush the Allied forces. But the Allies had a secret weapon: airplanes. They flew thousands of sorties, dropping nearly 19,000 tons of supplies and evacuating around 13,000 wounded soldiers. This constant airflow kept the soldiers fed, healthy, and ready to fight. It allowed them to resist Japanese attacks and eventually turn the tide of the battle. Air superiority was vital for these operations. The Allies controlled the skies, which protected their aircraft from enemy fighters and anti-aircraft guns. This control meant transport planes could fly safely, even under heavy fire. The use of aircraft like the C-47 Dakota was crucial. These planes carried entire divisions' supplies and even supported special operations behind enemy lines. The 81st West African Division, for example, was kept fully supplied by air during its offensive. The air supply effort also included specialized units like the United States Army Air Force's No. 1 Air Commando Group. They delivered supplies deep into the jungle and helped insert troops into remote areas. This innovative use of air power allowed the Allies to keep up pressure on the Japanese. They recaptured key locations like Rangoon before the monsoon rains made overland supply impossible. Thanks to the air supply, the Allies could sustain their ground forces, keep them well equipped, and continue fighting in tough conditions. It reduced the risk of starvation and isolation, which had devastated Japanese troops who relied on captured supplies. The success of air supply in Burma showed how flying supplies into difficult terrain could turn the tide of a campaign. It was a major factor in the Allied victory, proving that controlling the skies could be just as important as controlling the ground.